And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. And Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a great show for you today. Pete Gray still down at Palmas de Cortez with our great Let's Talk Hookup fun tournament going down there. Hopefully we'll hear from him today, the first report from our first official day of fishing down there, and I know the boys are probably all off the dock right now going to do it again. And man, do we have a good one for you today. Corey Sand and I are joined by Ty Ponder. We're going to be talking all things fishing, a Rapala representative, a great inshore fisherman, and a really, really fun fishy guy. It's going to be a great show. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
A few years ago, Shimano introduced the Tranx 500 reel, and it changed the way we cast for big fish. Now, by popular demand, Shimano has created two new sizes. Introducing the Tranx 300 and 400, available now at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx is the dream reel for throwing big baits and catching big fish. X-Ship and HEG technologies combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth, effortless retrieve. Plus, Shimano's new Core Protect water-resistant technology provides long-lasting durability in the harshest environment. The new Tranx 300 and 400 are available in 2 gear ratios and 2 different handle designs to cover all fresh and saltwater applications. See the new Tranx 300 and 400 at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx, it's not just a new reel, it's a way to fish. Check Shimano.com for all the details. No matter what the season, Rapala lures should always be a part of your fishing arsenal. It's time to stock up on the trolling lure that's proven to catch more fish. X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Every X-Rap Mag runs perfect right out of the box. All have extreme action with a controlled, deep-diving, aggressive swimming motion. The large diving lip partners with premium VMC hooks and an irresistible rattle. Here's some big news. X-Rap Mags now get up to 40 feet deep with the new X-Mag 40. Spool up with Suffix line, which was designed and recommended for trolling X-Rap Mags. And you have a deadly combo. You should also check out Rapala Husky Magnum heavy-duty, high-speed trolling lures built for battling large game fish. The Husky Mag lures, like all Rapala lures, are built tough and available at a great price. So bottom line, the X-Rap Magnum or the Rapala Husky Magnum are the ultimate trolling lures for Southern California and Baja saltwater fishing. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. No matter what you choose, the fish can't resist Rapala. Ask your local tackle dealer which is the hottest color and size and start catching more fish. See the entire lineup at Rapala.com.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
We all need to get around, but we all need something different from our vehicles. Your San Diego County Ford dealers have you covered if you're looking for a new truck this month. Plus, it's SUV season, so they have great deals for everyone. Whether it's a new EcoSport that is nimble and fun around town, or the Ford Explorer that is capable of putting a boat in the water and has seating for 7, Ford has you covered. Ford trucks and SUVs aren't just powerful and legendary. They have the latest technology that helps you seamlessly connect your smartphone and ensure you're safe on the road. Features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist on trucks are truly a game changer at the ramp, helping you back up a trailer by simply turning a knob on the dash and doing the hard work for you. So check out all the great deals during SUV season and save some money on the right gear for you. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. We have Ty Ponder in studio. Definitely a fun time. Right up my alley, inshore.
Yeah, this is going to be
Spotted bay bass, calico bass.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'll tell you what, Nothing more than I love talking fishing. It's been about a year since I've seen you guys, and the fishing has been fair. I stay busy.
Yeah, you do.
Rapala stays busy. New things at Rapala. You know, they're always coming out with new things. They have what's called a Ripstop this year, which I can talk about, but some new baits, and they make 20 million lures a year.
Come on.
No, I'm dead serious. 20 million lures a year. 100,000 a day is what they put out.
Get out of here.
No, I'm dead serious.
Wow, what a trip that is.
That's crazy numbers.
Inshore fisherman, that's where your passion lies. I know you've done everything. I've known you at the tackle store from, saltwater fishing, freshwater, all things. You're a fisherman.
Sure.
Fisherman first, but your passion lies in inshore bass fishing. Inshore saltwater bass fishing. Would that be fair to say that's what really burns the fire?
There's no doubt about it. I feel like I found my niche with the inshore stuff, with the calico bass and with the spotties. I mean, they might be small, but they're fun to catch,
Dude.
And my roots are in green bass fishing, so it was kind of a natural progression for me to stick with calico bass more than anything. I still do a tuna trip a year or two, take my son TJ, but I really enjoy that cast and retrieve. Even if I don't catch a fish, I enjoy the cast and retrieve, I like that.
The cool thing about bass fishing is it's never the same day, no matter what. You could go to the same area, same zone, but conditions are so different. And, that a group of fish could live on the same group of docks, but associate completely different one day to the next for spotties. And calico bass fishing, one kelp line, the next day can be totally different. So it's this weird combination of the same but forever changing.
It is a weird combination, and it's like, to me, it's like breaking a code. Every time I go out, I'm trying to break the code to catch as many fish, or at least a fish, but as many fish as I can, whether I'm tournament fishing or whether I'm fishing for fun. It's the same to me, and I'll share something with you that I call the 3 C's of calico bass fishing. Number 1 is current. I'm looking for current. Number 2 is a good water clarity. Okay. I don't want the water to be too clear. I look for a 5 or a 10-foot visibility, good current, and a good green water color to try and help me find the fish. And so I'm always trying to break that code. Those are the 3 main things that I look for. And I even have those things in my phone. I mean, I'm like, is it time for me to move? Am I not in the right conditions? And I learned a lot about conditions from Corey Sandin right here. He probably doesn't even realize it. One of my mentors, him, John Beerling, Matt Moyer, that really taught me how to look for calico bass and how to catch them.
That's awesome. Is there of the 3 C's, the current, the clarity, and was current, clarity, and color?
Yeah.
Is there one of those that's more important? Does it not matter because each is equally important to their other? Like, will you fish an area because it's got great current, but maybe the color's not right and the clarity's not right? How do you break those? How do you break that down?
Each matters, but without a doubt, current is the most important.
Current is king.
To find the current. It stirs up the whole food chain from the bottom to the top. And if you can find good current, and something Corey taught me that he probably doesn't even realize is if you're going along looking at kelp, looking for a good habitat, don't just look for kelp that's on the surface laying down. Of course, we'd like to see that. But stop and take a look. If you're running up and down in your boat going, man, it all looks the same to me, stop and take a look down, straight down into the water, and look for that current straight down because you can have good current below the surface, and that can be a key as well.
Okay. Yeah, and something, too, along those lines, too, Ty, is not only, the actual current in the ocean, but when you get a windy day, if you have the lack of current, you've had the lack of current for a couple of days and you haven't been on a bite or something, but the wind, the actual surface current from wind can actually turn an entire bite
really
the perfect way. Oh yeah, just
instantly.
Yeah, instantly. Just that little bit of organization on the surface from 12 miles an hour of wind, creating a little bit of current can change the whole thing around the positive way. Yeah,
that's a trip. So 3, like you say, when that element of your condition has been lacking, like you say, there's been no current for 3 or 4 days. That can be something where if that's pushing in the correct direction, you can get.
Yeah, and not even being on a skiff, it's different than a sport boat, and in the fact that you can track down the conditions, just like Ty's mentioning, but on your own private boat, you can take an area of kelp. I mean, look at like a table and imagine that like a mile square area, right? Well, that table on one end or the other is going to have the current going the right way.
Right.
You follow me?
Sure.
But a sport boat, you have to have it the right way from one side, right?
Meaning if it's going into the beach,
is ideal.
Hey, no problem fishing the outside of the table.
Yes.
But if the current's going out to sea, on a sport boat, you can't come all the
You're
way
doomed.
around to the inside because you're out. But on a skiff, you can just go to the other side of the table.
Exactly. And then you could do that on a sport boat, but it might not be such an ideal situation for a bite. But on your skiff, you can go catch 20, 30 fish and have a great time, right?
Yeah, that's a good.
Sport boat, 20 fish wouldn't be
And current, just because the current is going one direction, one way on one part of the table doesn't mean it's not different, right? I mean, you could
half
be
mile away.
a couple 100 yards away, and it could be 100% completely different direction. Maybe it's ideal, maybe it's the opposite. I mean,
that's something I wish I could figure out. Is exactly that, and that's why you can go up and down and have the ability in a skiff to go up and down and look for that current, and the current applies. And it's the same, obviously, spotted bay bass fishing. It's generally tidal-driven current. But, if you find those slack currents, slack high, slack low, that can be a fairly slow time at times. But you get a good current going, especially if it's like a 4-foot tidal exchange. If you get those huge 7-foot tidal exchanges, sometimes the fish tend to hunker down. But you get a good 3, 4, 5-foot tidal exchange, real nice for the spotties. That's awesome.
Isn't that cool? I mean, it's something so accessible to everybody. I mean, that's the cool thing, whether it's spotted bay bass or calicos, and it's something that relates to guys that love to fish marlin, and they, that's their big passion or whatever. And at some point in the year, they're fishing bass and having a killer time doing it, right?
Well, yeah. Everybody loves it. I think
it's one of the coolest fish because it's accessible to everybody. Meaning, like a couple of kids with their backpacks and their bass rods want to go down and flip rocks and docks all day, and you can do it. You can do it with the most bitchin' bass boat like Ty's got, or and everything in between. It can be done as inexpensive as buying a cheap dart head and a 3-inch MC swim bait, and you're perfectly in the game. To bitchin' rods set up with the coolest, Rapala hard bait and everything in between. And they're always accessible because they're in the bay. You can be super tech savvy and figure out tide and condition and current and baits and all this stuff, or you can cruise down to the dock and flip a chunk of squid out and still catch a spotty. Like it is one fish that's everything for everybody.
Yeah, it's something that's unique that we have here. Both the spotted bay bass and the calico bass are something that's unique to Southern California and Northern Baja. That we have, and it's a privilege to be able to do this, and it's a privilege to me as well to work for Rapala and hard bait fishing. Rapala type lures are easy to fish. That's what reminded me of what you're saying, how easy it is to fish a hard bait and how it does apply. Most anything that a largemouth bass will hit, a spotted bay bass, a calico bass will eat as well.
It seems like in the last couple of years, last 3 or 4 or 5 years, that fishing Rapalas or any hard bait, but Rapala in particular, that's really become a very popular, in vogue thing. Like you always saw a couple of crossover. There's a guy who catches spotties on a spinnerbait, and that became a little thing. But it seems like in the last few years, Rapalas in general have really found their home into saltwater bass fishing.
I think so, and I attribute a lot of that, especially to calico bass, to the X-Rap, which has been out for a good while now. But the X-Rap and the X-Rap long cast, they call it the X-Rap LC. The X-Rap, for me, the 14 size, the larger size, is the standard hard bait for catching calico bass.
Just to clarify super quick, because I think when a lot of our guys hear X-Rap, they think X-Rap Magnum, which is the trolling plug for yellowtail and tuna, but that's not what you're talking about.
That's correct. And to clarify again, the X-Rap Magnum, they have that will troll tried and true, between 10 and 40 feet now. There's actually an X-Rap Magnum 40, which will troll at 50 feet. But to come back, no, that's not particularly what I'm talking about. It's the standard X-Rap 14 size,
which doesn't have the big trolling bill.
Doesn't have the big trolling bill. It suspends just below. It's kind of a subsurface lure.
Okay.
And one of the beautiful things is you can take your kid out on an and have him just reel it in and catch fish all day. As a matter of fact, my personal preference most of the time on an X-Rap is a straight grind, a straight retrieve. It's a matter of finding the right speed. I do fish it as a jerkbait when it works as a jerkbait. Every day is different. But something that again, John Beerling taught me one day, which is not uncommon. I'm casting, and I'm not catching fish, and he's catching fish after fish. Why am I always that guy, right? You always feel like you're that guy that's just watching somebody else. But he said, well, you're fishing it, and he's straight grinding, and he said, well, you're fishing it too slow. So I sped it up, and I'm fishing it too fast. I'm still not catching fish. And what he showed me on a straight grind with any hard bait where you're looking for maximum vibration on a particular day, if that's what they want is the maximum vibration rather than another retrieve, reel it where you feel that tick, tick, tick on your rod tip.
Right.
And that's what I was doing wrong. I wasn't sensitive to the end of my rod tip, and I can feel that maximum vibration. And ever since then, I've told other people, think of when you're straight grinding a spinnerbait and you feel the tick, tick, tick of the blade. Then you can do the same thing with the hard bait. Feel that tick, 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 and you're getting maximum vibration that day. That doesn't necessarily, by any means, that's not how I fish it every day at all. Some days require
a good baseline.
Yeah, it's a good baseline. Some days a jerkbait method does work better. Some days a straight grind works better. It's mixing up the speed and also the length of the pauses. The colder the water is, the longer you want to let that lure sit, and maybe the slower you want to retrieve it. And these are all just starting points. The warmer the water, the faster we want to retrieve it. We're just trying to imitate, as Lori Rapala did in 1936 when he brought all this to be, a wounded bait fish.
Yeah.
So we're matching the hatch just like you would fishing anything. We're matching the hatch.
That's awesome. I love that. I dig that story, and I think it's just so cool how you became to be, part of the team at Rapala. It was that love and desire of inshore fishing, and then finding this lure and the system that worked so good for you, and now you're part of the team, part of the Rapala Pro staff, and it's not. You're not that way because these are, this is another patch to put on your jacket. I mean, this is what you fish and what you like and the way you like to fish with it.
It's always been what I fished. I always said, my shop teacher in high school, we used to call it a crescent wrench. He said, hey, man, it's not a crescent wrench. It's an adjustable wrench, right? Now, the reason I say that is,
I love it.
Is Rapala. People say, well, I fished in a Rapala. Yeah. Maybe it's not even a Rapala lure, but Rapala set the standard for lures. They still set the standard, and they did. And something a lot of people don't know is that Normark is the parent company of Rapala, and there's actually 12 brands under the Normark umbrella now, including stuff that guys use all the time, VMC.
Sure.
Suffix line, that Suffix 832 braid is the standard as far as I'm concerned. Storm, Williamson, Terminator, and the list goes on through other ice fishing as well. But a whole lot of great Rapala brands. They keep new stuff coming constantly.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Like you say, it's Kleenex, it's Xerox, it's the thing. Like you have if something is that shape, you say Rapala, Pete says Rapala, I'm a Rapala guy. I know that it's saying it wrong. I'm going to say it wrong till the day I die. but somebody has a bait that's that shape, no matter who it's made by, like, oh, you're fishing Rapala, right on.
Yeah, I'm practicing saying Rapala here while I'm here.
You have to be official. Me and Corey don't.
Yeah, I say both. I mean, the world around, calls it whatever they call it. But something I had fun with last week as well was called the Rapala Ripstop. Okay. And you know how it's got a bill on the front, most hard baits? Well, this has a little downward-facing bill on the back. And this allows, when you give your rod a twitch, this allows the bait to almost stop in place, which is something we're trying to do when we're, fishing a twitch bait or a jerk bait anyway. But you can give this a little rip, and it almost does that stop in place for you if you give the rod tip back to it. So,
it's like a break.
Yeah, it's like a little break. And the last time I fished, I went out with bigger gear. I was getting them on hard baits, but I was catching small fish. So what I did was I went out, and this is just last week. I went out the next day, and went out with the Ripstop on light gear, ultralight gear. And I was catching 1 and 2 pound fish on the ultralight gear on the Ripstop.
That's cool.
And you're talking calicos.
I'm talking calicos.
Nice.
Sorry, yeah, I was talking calicos. And it makes it so much fun to be able to go out on light gear and catch 1-2 pound fish. That's a blast, you know.
Awesome.
And is that on the coast?
Yeah, that was just out of Point Loma.
See, and how cool. I mean, having La Jolla, Point Loma, Palos Verdes, Dana Point area, you know, to have all these cool zones to be able to do this. And it's so accessible and just so much fun. It doesn't have to be a San Clemente Island kind of thing or a Cedros Island or a skiff trip going down the Mexican coast. It's something accessible right here. Some of the best fishing I've had is on the coast right here.
Absolutely. There's big fish here to be caught. The time of year, this is my favorite time of year right now, fall, to get out and catch numbers. The weather's, in fact, we're going to have Santa Ana's this coming this week. The weather's going to be beautiful to get out. And for calico bass, unlike largemouth bass, they like Santa Ana's. They'll get out there and say, hey man, it's time to eat.
Let's pack on some pounds.
Yeah, let's pack on some pounds. So I'll be doing some fishing this week and getting out during the Santa Ana's, and plus it's just beautiful weather, good surfing weather too.
It is.
Boy, if this first 15 minutes wasn't enough to scratch surface, this is going to be such a good show, Corey.
Lots of fun,
Rick.
Man.
So much good info today. I'm just so pumped having you two guys in here. This is going to be a great day.
And if you want to join us, we have 2 ways to do it. And on top of that, we're going to give away a full-day trip on to San Diego. You can go fish with Booger out of Seaforth Sport Fishing.
Who had a boomer of a day again yesterday, man. It's just great to see that good fishing continuing to roll on.
Incredible.
Awesome.
And you're talking right through basically we had a lightning storm the night before. You know what I mean? And to have that kind of fishing going on, a southerly push of fish. Absolutely, the overnight trips, the full-day trips are loading up pretty good.
This is great.
So give us a call at 858-457-1090, 877-792-1090. Like I said, we're giving away a full-day trip on to San Diego. We have Ty Ponder in studio all day talking Rapala. You want to give us a shout, do so. We got some killer fish reports coming up. Fishing's getting good. We'll be right back on Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Get ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 3rd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern, and we are pulling out all the stops on this one with discounts from 20 to 60% on hundreds of items. Just listen to this list of vendors: Accurate, AFTCO, Avet, CalStar, Costa, Daiwa, Fishworks, Gamakatsu, Iser, Mustad, Nomad, Okuma, Olakai, Owner, P-Line, Penn, Phoenix, Power Pro, Salty Crew, Seagar, Seeker, Shimano, West Coast Marine, and Yozuri. That's right, over 20 manufacturers reps, plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Closeouts we've never offered before at Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Show your surface iron skills. The winner gets a Tranks 500 worth $500. It's our biggest sale of the year with hundreds of items discounted up to 60%. Plus, plenty of manufacturers' incentives to spice up the pot. We'll have a huge raffle, lots of fun for everyone. So don't miss it. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 3rd. Check fishermanslanding.com. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades, with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. Now is the time to book your long-range trips and charters, plus half-day trips aboard the Dolphin. Go to fishermanslanding.com and see trip availability and even book your trip online. Stop by or call Fisherman's Landing in San Diego and book now at fishermanslanding.com.
Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring Fall Sales Event is back. For a limited time, purchase an eligible new 2.5 to 115 horsepower 4-stroke and get 6 years of warranty protection plus up to $500 in dealer credit. New 150 to 300 horsepower 4-strokes come with 6 full years of warranty protection. Visit your local Yamaha Outboards dealer today. Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Offer ends November 19th, 2018. Subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. 36-month limited warranty and 36-month Yamaha extended service contract. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 36-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
He's not just my fishing buddy. After 30 years, he's a brother, and I'd sure hate to lose him. His bass boat's got nothing to do with it. So I make sure both of us wear a life jacket. Save the ones you love, even if they don't own a fancy boat. A message from California State Park Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Alaska's Katmai Lodge is a world-class wilderness fishing paradise on the banks of the famed Alagnak River. You'll fish for all 5 species of Pacific salmon, king, sockeye, chum, coho, and on even years, pinks, plus trophy-sized rainbow trout, Arctic grayling, and Dolly Varden, both in the Alagnak and the nearby waters. Katmai Lodge's U.S. Coast Guard and CPR certified guides are fishing fanatics and know how to help you reel them in. They are exceptional teachers and ensure you have days that are fish-filled and fun with freshly prepared snacks and barbecued lunches on the river. Back at the lodge, there are fireside appetizers and refreshments each afternoon, as well as fresh, delicious meals prepared by their exceptional chef. Elevate your visit with a quick fly-out trip to Brooks Falls in Katmai National Park for world-renowned bear watching. For the best fishing adventure ever, visit katmai.com. That's KATMAI.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader. The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And a couple lines open at 858-457-1090, 877-792-1090. Giving away a full-day trip on the San Diego. Fun time in studio today, Rick.
You're not kidding, man. What a good time to be giving away that trip. We kind of just scratched the surface there. So appropriately timed. And just like Ty was saying, with the good fishing in the fall is just where it's at. Whether it be calico bass, whether it be hopping on the San Diego, Frank kind of mentioned it yesterday on the show. The loads start to lessen. There's less people, especially you go right now, every week that we get later in the fall, the crowds just get less and less, and the fishing seems to get better and better. That grade of the yellowfin has really been improving, much nicer size fish. And, it's just a great time to be going on a trip like that. So, yeah, one lucky caller at the end of the show going fishing on a full-day trip on the San Diego out of Seaforth, and a good one. And speaking of good ones, hey, we got a really fun time coming up next weekend. Join us for a fun and exciting live remote broadcast at the newly remodeled Kona Kai Resort on Shelter Island in San Diego. It's next Saturday, October the 20th. We're going to be broadcasting right at the lawn above the brand new Paloma Pool and Bar right next to the marina. There's going to be a free breakfast for everybody that attends. Free mimosas and Bloody Marys are available, too. You can win some great prizes. We're going to be giving away a brand new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. We're giving away room nights at the Kona Kai. They're going to be giving away spa treatments and a whole bunch more. Be sure to join us at the Kona Kai Resort. It's right at the end of Shelter Island in San Diego for a fun 2-hour live remote broadcast. When you enter the resort, you're going to just pass the fountain. It'll be very easy to find. It's just past the fountain as you enter. It's Saturday, October the 20th, next Saturday from 7 to 9 a.m. Come join us for some free breakfast, some free prizes, and lots of fun. And not a better spot than Kona Kai. I know you keep your boat there, Ty, and there is no spot like Kona Kai.
It's the best marina in town. There's no doubt about it. It's the prettiest environment. They treat you really well, and attention to detail at the Kona Kai. And the new remodel the parking is great, and it's a great place to live. I live on my 48-foot Michelson out there that I bought.
Docks are high end.
Yes.
When there's problems are addressed. It's just everything about it. That is the highest end facility we have in San Diego. No question. That's not debatable.
No question about it. It's beautiful.
And those guys really do. I really hope people take us up on it because they do. They really roll out the red carpet. I just so encourage you to come down and hang out with us. They put on a killer breakfast spread, Bloody Mary mimosa bar, and other things, obviously, But come down and just hang out. There's no strings. There's no timeshare. They just want to show off. They did a huge remodel and a killer facility, and they want to show it off, and they want people to come down and check it out, and that's it. It's a super fun day. So I hope everybody come join us next Saturday. It's a cool day.
Beautiful property, free parking, free event. How does it get any better?
Sounds good to me.
Anytime you include Steve Pinard from Dana Landing, they have the absolute most awesome tackle shop on the water right there up against the ramp.
Yep.
Okay, Johnny White running it. But when you include Steve into the Kona Kai, that's all you need to say, my friend.
Yep, yeah, I'm with you for that. Well, hey, it's time to find out what's going on the water. We're going to talk to John Ireland. He is on the line this morning, calling us live from Rancho Leonero. Good morning, John.
Buenos dias, Rick. Hello, Corey, Ty.
How you doing, buddy?
Well, everything's good. First of all, I want to give a plug for Rapala. I bet you 50% of the Wahoo down here this year have been taken on CD18. So Just so you know.
I appreciate that, and nor am I surprised. I got to say.
Yeah, right.
No, they swim better than any bait I know. They're good. You've got a good product, Ty, for sure, amigo.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway,
I agree.
No problem. No worries about that. Water temp is about 86, 87, clear and flat, nice. It's cooled down a bunch. It was 65 degrees at the beach at 5:30 this morning, so it really is cooling down. Highs and middays are in the low 80s, 83, 84. So very, very nice weather. Not much wind, clear days. Everything's great. But the fishing's another story. The fishing really slowed down over the course of the week. The tuna have been up and down, a few tuna here, a few tuna there. Bites seem to be a lot better south. The further south you go, the better the tuna bite. The billfish have shown up. They're biting, they're picking them up about 3 to 7 miles right off the lighthouse, between the lighthouse and Punta Colorado. Bill DeLue, my good buddy, released a 200-pound blue. There's stripers and sails mixed in there, too. So there's decent marlin bite. Inshore fish has been stellar all year and continues. If you want to fish the bottom, big pargo, big amberjack, pompano, they even picked up a yellow tail, which is unusual in 86 degrees water, just this last week. So, but the tuna's been on and off, and, today's another day. Tuna, when they come back fast and hard, and we've had such a great year that I can't believe that this dry spell is going to last much longer.
That's awesome. Well, certainly the one thing is, like you said, the conditions are perfect, and when the conditions are right in the East Cape, the fish show. So, I don't think it'll be long before you're inundated with tuna again, John.
No, the fish are around, and they can. They consistently. I'm not kidding you, for 8 or 9 weeks. So it's not surprising we get a little slower week. And they're picking up the occasional, nice fish, 55 pounds, but not like it was last week. And I do expect it to pick back up. Yeah. The conditions are perfect.
So, John, I do have a quick question for you, and I feel like every time you and I talk about fishing and lures down there, it's always regarding the same thing. But you mentioned wahoo a little bit ago, and I would say that the number one question that we get asked in the tackle store at Fisherman's Landing there is, I'm going to the East Cape and I want to catch a wahoo, and because of your recommendations, I always refer those guys to fishing Rapalas, and especially that new one that Ty was talking about, the big one, the X-Rap 40. If a guy was coming down, you see the success with those things all the time. Do you rig them with wire? Is it a heavy wire or light wire? Do you rig them straight and just get the more bites, but know that the lure's in jeopardy because you're fishing wahoo without wire? What's the best tactic for a guy that's wanting to get a skinny when he comes down to Rancho Leonero?
Thanks, Rick. The wire affects the action on them, no doubt about it. So the shorter the wire you can put it on it. Sometimes I just put a double swivel on it. Double hook. Just what you want to do is you want to keep they have the sharpest teeth in the world, and you want to keep those teeth on the tie is what you want to do. Sure. So all you need, is maybe a half an inch, something like that, because it does affect the action. And that's how I do it. And I catch bunches. My favorite is the silver with the red head.
That's awesome.
To work for me.
It's a great jig, no doubt about it, John. Well, if somebody wants to come take advantage of my favorite place in the entire world at Rancho Leonero, get in on the good weather and the good fishing to come, and hopefully go get themselves a wahoo, how do we find you?
Thanks, Rick. It's 800-646-2252 or rancholeonero.com. We upload our photos every couple of days, so check that out as well.
Right on, John. Well, appreciate a great report as always, and we'll look forward to talking next week.
I appreciate talking to you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Right, John.
Talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot for that. Well, phone lines are packed up, Corey. I know everybody wants to talk to the guy. The only line open right now, our local line, is totally full, but we do have that toll-free number open. That's 877-792-1090. Let's jump into the phones.
Let's do it. We're going to talk to Mike. Mike's calling from Chino Hills. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Corey. Hey, what's up, Ty? It's Crutch.
What's going on, Chris?
Hey, good to man. I'm so proud of you, dude. You're like the man now. You come a long way since sport fishing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have fun.
I love your show on Calico Country. You're very wealth of knowledge on the bass, and I just wanted to give you a shout out, man, a thumbs up, brother.
Well, I appreciate that. He's referring to I have a YouTube channel called Calico Country, A lot of it turned out to be kind of instructional, kind of some light instruction, some of it advanced, some of it intermediate or beginner, but I try and document my fishing trips, and it's just kind of something fun to do, and
that's awesome.
Keeps me busy.
And I've had a chance to check him out. It's really cool. It's just Ty being Ty and sharing the info and having a good time and showing you on his boat how he's doing it.
Yeah.
There's one thing that is more uncommon about somebody like yourself than a lot of people in that you are a very, very free-flowing with information, and you truly do. You can tell you like to teach guys how to do it, and you're very good about sharing your information. And a lot of people that have had successes in tournament fishing like yourself are a little bit tight-lipped about it, which is understandable, but Ty's not that way. I mean, you're so good about teaching people how to do it and free-flowing with the info, and it's very unique.
Well, I appreciate that, and the reason I don't mind sharing it and I enjoy sharing it is because people shared it with me, just like Corey fished with him. He's a world of knowledge, and I'll tell you something. Some fishermen that I highly respect said Corey Sandin is the best calico bass fisherman ever.
Period.
Oh, come on.
No, I know you're going to say that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean his experience with bait, and really when you're hunting calico bass, you're hunting bait, and he knows how everything acts in the water column and how to find fish like no one else. Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ty. I lend it a lot to the guys before me. I mean, you look at. I'll throw some names out, and it might remind some guys, like Jack Soule, and the guys who had Mondo, Parasini and Rich Parcell, and those guys were so secretive in everything they did, but they were very good at what they did. They didn't want to teach everybody, and me being a lure guy, right, and yourself with Rapala, myself, I wanted to teach people, encourage them, kind of focus on how to catch and have a great time, right? I mean, I wanted to sell a few lures, so it kind of lent to a guy like yourself, Ty, and a wealth of information yourself.
I appreciate that, and talk about sharing it. The ultimate is sharing it with kids.
Yeah.
And when you see a kid catch a fish that's either never caught a fish or you catch one and hand it to him, all that is the magic of fishing that we all enjoy. So that's the ultimate in sharing, with kids.
I dig it. So tell us about Calico Country. How does somebody want to, if somebody's listening at home, want to find your YouTube channel? I mean, do we just YouTube it, do a search for Calico Country? Tell us a little bit about it.
That's it. You can YouTube Calico Country.
Right.
And I named my boat Calico Country. I dig it. It's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I enjoy sharing it with others. That's it.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, I really appreciate the phone call. All right, buddy. Appreciate that very much. Who do we got next, Corey?
Let's do it. Let's talk to Rich. Rich is calling from Bradley this morning. Good morning, Rich.
Hey, Rich.
Hi, Corey. Hi, Ty. Hi, Rick.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm hoping maybe you can shed a light on some of the modifications you might make to the lures, including maybe upgrading the hardware or maybe adding feathered hooks to the ones that don't have it. And are you worried about impeding the action? Do you go to heavier hooks when you're in the salt water or heavier split rings and things like that?
Great question.
Well, it is, and that's an excellent question, and I do some upgrades now and then. For one thing, I'll just mention something we were doing for a while is fishing Rapalas with a single hook on it, so a single J hook or a single circle hook, and that way we could pull a lure through the kelp. And
do you have preferences for those types of hooks?
Say again.
Do you have a preference in the type of hook?
Well, I'm fixing to explain this to you even better. I got one better for you. Rapala came out and created what's called the inline single hook system. So they've done the work for you on that, and that's on the Rapala long cast, which is an X-Wrap, which still has an excellent X-Wrap action. It's actually doesn't suspend; it sinks, so you can work it any way you want to at depth, and it'll stay at depth. But you can pull these hooks through the kelp. It's called the ILS, Inline Single Hook System. Works great for that. And that's a new Rapala product that solved that problem for you. As far as other upgrades, yes, I do. All of the X-Wraps, if we're still using that as an example, do come with premium saltwater hooks made by VMC. VMC also makes what's called O'Shaughnessy hooks. And these O'Shaughnessy hooks come in a black, a red, and a lot of times I'll upgrade my X-Wraps with those treble hooks.
Okay.
and they hold up a little longer in saltwater. And Corey can comment on this, but I always like to add a little red to what I'm doing. I think a little red is a little fish attractant. I don't know, Corey, you agree? I mean,
especially on the hooks. I mean, if you're adding hooks, why not add a red one, right? I mean, and really in the inshore fishery, no matter whether it's calicos or spotties or whatever it is, but that orange on the plastics is really a key color, and adding red or orange is a big deal, you know?
Yeah, I think so. And something, while we're on that subject, think about what's on the bottom of your lure. The fish typically are looking up at a lure, especially if it's a surface lure. If you want to talk colors, which I have basic color patterns that I use, as I know you do, Corey, simple formula for colors, but they're looking up at the lure. So what's on the bottom of the lure, the color, is probably more important than what's, especially on the top or on the sides.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
It seems as if a lot of the saltwater specific, X-Wraps, X-Wrap long cast, that kind of stuff are made plenty heavy duty for it. But as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, there's a lot of freshwater crossover. And so things that were maybe designed for freshwater, some of the crankbaits and things like that, are those the ones that maybe you should start thinking about replacing split rings and hooks and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's a good point, too. If you're going to calico bass fish with them, yes. And we haven't talked much about it, but these lures work great for spotties. Super
maybe
fun.
Better.
Yeah, super fun for spotties. I talked about the Ripstop a while ago. They originally made a size 9 Ripstop. They've gone up to a size 12, which is kind of a medium size. And like I said, I used that for small fish the other day. They'll work for bigger fish too. That's size 12. I'm hoping maybe they'll come out with a size 14, and that'll be a killer for calico bass. But yeah, that's when you need to upgrade for calico bass if you're crossing over.
Okay, spotty fishing probably you're just fine because you're fishing similar to what you'd be fishing largemouth with.
Very similar.
Okay,
very similar.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Guy?
Yes, sir.
Are those single replacement Rapala hooks available now, and where can we get them?
They are available, and they're called the ILS Inline Single Hook, and you can buy those separately, and it's all at rapala.com or rapala.com.
Awesome.
And they have a website with all 12 of their companies listed. Like I say, they cover everything, and these particular hooks we're talking about, and tons of terminal tackle is made by VMC.
That's awesome, man. Good
stuff. Really cool. And local tackle shops have them, too. I know East County Bait and Tackle it has that. All the hooks you're talking about right there, they have on the wall, and you can walk in and check them out, especially the inline hooks.
Yeah.
Yep. That answer your question for you, Rich?
Yeah, sure does. I'm glad I called.
Yeah, right on, buddy. Well, we appreciate the phone call very much. Going to be an awesome show today. Appreciate the
And
phone
we got
call.
a lot more coming, and great reports, more with Ty Ponder. We come back and Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 3rd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern, and we are pulling out all the stops on this one with discounts from 20 to 60% on hundreds of items. Over 20 manufacturers' reps like Shimano. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, a giant raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Closeouts we've never offered before at Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Check out all the Shimano and Power Pro product we have and talk to the Shimano and Power Pro guys about the best Shimano rod and reel for your trip. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and a Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skills. The winner gets a Tranks 500 worth $500. It's our biggest sale of the year with hundreds of items discounted up to 60%. Plus, plenty of manufacturers' incentives from Shimano and Power Pro to spice up the pot. We'll have a huge raffle and lots of fun for everyone. So don't miss it. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 3rd. Check fishermanslanding.com.
Fifth Avenue Insurance has a new name. It's Snap Insurance, still providing anglers and boaters with the best in boat insurance and the lowest rates. The experts at Snap Insurance will make sure your boat and property are covered right. Traveling to Mexico? Snap has you covered. You can even work with your agent to wrap your home and auto with your boat policy to save even more. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Snap Insurance, 800-527-6617 or snapins.com. That's SNAPPINS.com.
All right, it's time to talk about great new gear from Shimano. And, man, talking all this calico bass fishing has got me so fired up. And boy, the amount of new things in that inshore world from Shimano is just fantastic. Obviously, iCast this year introduced 2 new reels that are perfect for what we do. First of which being that brand new Tranx 200, a great reel that would be plenty small for fishing calicos and inshore, but still all the power one would want for calico bass fishing. And the reel that I'm really excited about is that brand new Corrado DC.
That's the one.
Yeah, inexpensive, extremely high-end as far as technology, the easiest casting and best working DC feature on a reel ever before, but in a reel that's under $300. It's easy for us to afford. It's a great size. I'm so stoked on the future of new inshore reels coming out from Shimano.
From El Salto to inshore calico bass.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, for more information, check out your local Shimano dealer or check out Shimano.com.
Lobster season is here. It's time to gear up with the best in the business, Promar. Based in SoCal, Promar knows lobster and makes everything you need to catch these tasty critters. The Promar guys are hardcore lobster fishermen and have all styles of hoop nets, including the new Ambush XL Heavy, 14-pound, 36-inch rigid hoop net, the largest allowed by law. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarnets.com.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
Welcome back to Let's Talk.
Nothing but good times, Rick.
We're in here BSing about fishing and calico bass. You know, Frank said that yesterday, that I wish there was a way to have the mics on during the commercial breaks, and just the amount of the reason I know that it's going to be such a go. There's so much good info from Ty. We were just talking calico bass, and I love it. It's such a fun fishing to get to be a part of and talk about. And boy, having you two guys today in particular, it's just, this is it, man.
Nothing but fun stuff for sure.
No doubt. Well, hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting, Corey. It's time for the Catch Report.
And the Catch Report today, Rick, is sponsored by Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Not only they offer the best processing for your fish when you return to the San Diego landings, now they have Fish Pros to market. You can purchase fresh fish, smoked, and jerky fish, and their famous tuna burgers at their convenient Liberty Station location. Fish Pros have also become famous for their line of smoked spices, rubs, and salts, as well as smoked cheese. Pick some up at their Liberty Station location or order some online at fishmansprocessing.com. It's so easy to find. It's right there adjacent to the marketplace.
Right at Liberty Station.
It's so easy and killer prices, and you can walk in right now and buy live lobster.
I hope people know, too, this is another one of those things that Corey and I are both big fans of all that stuff that Fish Pros is doing. All their spices and rubs and things, they are so super easy to use, and it's not a BS thing for the radio show. It's killer. I mean,
they're very flavorful, and I've said they're not, like the salts aren't overly, it's not all salt.
Yeah.
It's all the spice and everything they put into it, and a salt's a hint of it, and it's really killer. They're worth looking at. For sure.
I can definitely be a little bit lame sometimes when it comes to being in the kitchen, and I'm very guilty of my fish of brushing with a little olive oil and throwing a little salt and pepper and throwing it on the grill, and it's a really cool way to make that the next level with just literally open up a bag and throwing a little bit of that, the spice on. And it's killer, and it's right in Liberty Station. It's easy to find. All the stuff they have is rad. Their pokey kits are really cool. It's just
I haven't tried that one.
It's a really cool little market spot, and it's kind of still under the radar, so prices are still super low and inexpensive. It's just a rad little local spot. So
I still have a refrigerator full of jerky from I save it to eat, and I'm afraid it's going to go bad because I save it. Like I'm hoarding it.
Totally the same way. Hey, well, as promised, it's time to find out what's going on. We're going to start up at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Talk to the man, Captain Brian Woolley's on the line right now. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing great, Woolley. How's things going up at Dana Wharf?
Good, man. Josh, we rolled through another super fun week of fishing up here. For starters, I can tell you we're definitely feeling the transition in the fall for sure. We saw our water temps this week drop a little bit. 66 to 67 was what we fished pretty much all week. But, we had a very similar week to what we had last week. So that consistency, as you guys well know, this time of the year is kind of a big deal. So, again, for us, though, that bonito fishing was lights out again for us all week. There has been good volume of this fish, and then what's been cool about it is it's been super close to home. Like literally, roll out of the harbor in the morning, and it's within 2 miles you're getting stocked. So this bonito has been in that 3 to 10 pound range, and it's made for some really fun fishing on both our half and our 3/4 day trips, like I just mentioned there. Our live bait this week was perfect, 4 to 5 inch sardine. I mean, you can't ask for better live bait for that bonito. And as you'd imagine, that live line sardine caught the bulk of the fish. But, when we're able to get these fish up to the corner, it's been, as you'd expect, a jig, surface iron, you name it, it goes over the side, and it was catching fish for us. So the bass fishing along the beach, still a bit, on the tricky side. But again, that small sardine I just talked about was a huge factor, and it was a big help in catching the bass that we had in our counts this week. And then kind of the deal when we're done with that bonito, we get what our anglers need. We made a run down to that deep water, hard bottom areas and get loaded up on the rockfish. We had some great days down there this week, been able to put limits of reds on top of their, 5-fish bonitos. So that's been super fun. And then finally, the Fury, he's had a phenomenal week as well. He continued to have some great fishing over at Catalina and at Clemente. On his all-day trips there at Cat, some good fall calico bass fishing, and that same bonito roaming around the front and back of the island. And then on his longer trips over at Clemente, he's had some shots at that bluefin and yellowfin. And he had one of their bigger fish this week, their big bluefin, 243-pounder for them, which is, kind of cool to see that on one of their boats there. And then it's good mixed bass fishing, rockfish and stuff like that, kind of filling in the bags from there. So solid fall week here for us. If you guys want to hop on a trip, I recommend calling the landing, making a reservation. Number here is 949-496-5794. Of course, you can check us out on the web, too, at danawharf.com. And always, as we mentioned there, use that Dana Wharf link right on the front of the Let's Talk Hookup webpage. Click on over there, book and use the code FALL, F-A-L-L. That'll save you 25% on one of these local half or 3/4 day trips.
Doesn't get any better than that, Brian. 25% off. And, we had a caller yesterday, Larry, and we were talking about customer service. And Dana Point right there is definitely, you guys offer some of the best service on the coast, too, Brian. So wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, thanks for that, Corey. We try hard, treat everyone like, it's their first time. And, we've got some long-time regulars because of it. So thanks for that.
Yep, no doubt. Well, it's very well-deserved, Willie. Appreciate it. Great report, as always. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Appreciate the time, guys. Thanks. We'll see you.
Thanks, Willie. All right, let's head on now down over to Cedro Sport Fishing. Talk to our good buddy Jeff Flowers on the line. What's up, Jeff? Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Good morning.
Hey, great show. Sitting here listening to the talk about the new Kona Kai that's coming back, and your show going to be down there. I wish I could make it, but I'm going to be on my way back from Cedros that day.
You dog. All right, I was going to say, come join us, but you are going to be in one of the few places better than being at Kona Kai, no doubt.
Yeah, I tell you. And it's funny, listening to you guys talking about either Rapala or Rapala. Either
Rapala.
Way, when you grab it out of your bag, it still works.
Yeah, that's for sure, buddy. I know you were a big proponent of always, that's one thing people, obviously, when you've been on the show and I've heard you in the shop, people asking about things to bring down there, and you've always said that's one of the things to never leave without when you're going to fish Cedros.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Especially if you enjoy catching calicos, there's, Corey makes a great bait. The Rapalas are fantastic baits. It's just, you get down there and you lose track. All you're doing is casting and cranking. You're just putting a hurt on those fish down there.
That's awesome. Well, so tell us about the fishing this week.
Well, we had a trip, unfortunately, that got canceled midweek due to the Sergio storm that came through. So we actually we had a trip that came back on Thursday evening, a day early, so we can get them out before that actual heavy weather hit on the island.
Smart.
And but that trip had a great trip. They caught a lot of Dorado. They caught some yellowfin. They caught a lot of big yellows. So fish are down there. And yesterday our skippers went out just to do a little pre-fish before our next trip gets down there on Tuesday. And big yellows, big Dorado, and a few of the bigger calicos are still hanging around in the shallows.
Awesome. How's the kelp looking? That's one of my questions, Jeff.
Well, it did put a hurt on the kelp down there. As you guys know, it was doing a really good try coming back good. But the last two storms that went through there, changed the topography a little bit. So I'll get a better picture of it this week while I'm down there, and I'll give you guys a report next Sunday when I get back.
That'd be great, Jeff. Yeah, I know our trip that we experienced down there in August, we were so stoked on how, I mean, that's the one thing about kelp is it is quite a resilient plant. You know, I mean, it goes from just, you know, that island almost was void of it for a couple of years, and last year it was just amazing how lush that kelp, how quickly it can come back, provided it's got good conditions.
And it'll come back. It totally will.
Always
That's
does,
something that it's so amazing when we have the right light condition, photo periods, and during the summer, you know, spring and all. It'll grow up to 24 inches a day.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I had a trip. I had a trip with Cedro Sport Fishing this year, and it not only the fishing is so good, but the service now and how they have everything turnkey. You hardly have to lift a finger for anything. The food is great, and that's just the icing on the cake, you know.
When Dallas and I were down there, we were saying, like, you almost feel bad about asking for anything because you know no matter what they have going on, which is probably a lot more important than your need for a Coke or something, like, they're just going to drop what they're doing to make sure you're taken care of. You know, like, it is first rate. You guys do such a great job down there, Jeff.
Well, thank you. It's a team effort. We got some really good people down there. And, you know, Rosie, she runs a tight ship, and she makes sure that everybody has a great time. And it's one of the most enjoyable trips you'll ever be on.
Yep, no doubt, buddy. Well, great job, Jeff. If somebody wants to come join you, I know you were talking about having a couple of late-season trips you guys put on to take advantage of that great wahoo fishing, tuna, dorado, yellowtail, and, of course, calico bass. We still have an opportunity to go on one of those last spots?
Absolutely. She extended the season a little bit just because we had some customers that couldn't quite make those rough water trips, and so she's added a couple more weeks in November. So I would suggest if you still have a hankering to go, check it out on the schedule, and then give her a call. And you go to cedrosportfishing.com, or you can give her a holler on our cell phone at 619-772-7570. All
right, buddy. Great job, Jeff. Appreciate it. And again, we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Great show, guys.
All
have
right.
a good weekend.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right. Nothing but good times. And one of my favorite reports, Rick, the Surf Fishing Report. Gundy Gunderson, good morning.
Hey, Gundy.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Great, buddy. Good morning.
You know, the wonderful thing about the surf is that, well, it's not always the surf. You know, sometimes it's the piers and sometimes the jetties and sometimes the harbors. And that's kind of what we got this week. You know, a lot of tough conditions in the breakers on the beaches with the swell and some junk in the water and wind and all that kind of thing. So a little bit challenging, but surprisingly, we had quite a few bright spots. Wiley's yesterday held their first Uptown Derby. The group had easy limits on smaller perch. I think the three big fish were a 1-pounder was the best, and then a 15-ounce, 14-ounce. So that's a typical start. Shrimp was the top bait there, and the guys really interesting reported just a ton of bait in the surf line. Anchovies, smelt, the mackerel were breaking on the smelt and the surf line, and they had lots of yellowfin croaker, real fishy situation. So we're talking about, you know, conditions here. You get the conditions, the fish are still there. Just Fishing in Redondo reported several striped bass taken off Hermosa there. Cut anchovy was the top bait. I think a 9-pound fish was the big fish. The big bonita also flashed through there, and for 2 days they were biting in the harbor off the pier. Crocodiles, feathered castmasters were working. Big fish reported slow fishing on the beaches, but the swell kind of roped in there, so they had some challenges there. But the bay fishing for spotted bay bass and halibut was a good plan B for those guys. And then the bonita also were showing off the San Gabriel River Channel, Steel Beach Pier, and then the jetty there. And, you know, they kind of flash in and flash out. You just got to take a shot at it. San Clemente Pier, Newport, and Balboa Pier also had reports of bonita. And then Pacific Coast reported that bigger bonita, that 4 to 8 pound fish, was off the harbor jetties and then the Oceanside Pier. Mega baits, cold snipers, and a splasher rig with a Rapala behind it, which is kind of a little different setup. That was real good bait. 8 pound, 6 ounce, I think, was the biggest bonita, real nice one. And then inside the bays, the shop regular shore fished San Diego Bay down there and had 6 halibut, 2 legal fish, and one of the sessions there. He was casting swim baits along the jetty rock. And then some guys up in the lagoon, those guys out of Oceanside who get the live sardine, had 4 legal fish this week fishing inside. You know, so us shore fishermen, you know, we'll do whatever it takes. We don't care if it's the beach, you know. So these guys are still putting together nice catches, you know, doing what they got to do.
Give us an opportunity. We're going to put some fish on board.
I'd love to lay into an 8-pound bonita off the pier,
That's what I'm saying,
Goody. Well, you know, one of the things we talked about in having Ty on here was, you know, when that condition is right and halibut fishing, and you know, that was actually where I learned about that Rapala X-Wrap, you know, in the very beginning was you talking about using that as a great search bait and long-distance casting bait fishing halibut in the surf.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually, I'm working on a little piece on fishing those hard jerk baits. You know, some of the guys have been expressing to me that they've had problems with like split rings opening up and hooks. So, you know, when you're fishing smaller species, you can take those lures right out of the box. But if you're on a beach where you can hang a 30-pound white sea bass or a 25-pound halibut on any given cast, then you have to examine what you got on there as far as hooks and split rings, believe it or not. You know, split rings opening up, unfortunately, that's been a more common thing in recent times here.
Right on. Gundy, great report, man. Packed full of info. Appreciate you searching out all the great bites up and down the coast, and we'll look forward to talking to you again next week.
I love to do it, Rock Cod, and you guys all have a good week. Huh?
We sure appreciate it, buddy. Thanks, Gundy.
All right,
appreciate that. Well, that's going to wrap up our catch report today, Corey.
Well, and Bill Varney's come out with a great gadget for catching sand crabs. And I was walking in Malibu Beach State Park this past week, and man, honestly, there's so many sand crabs. And I think of this little gadget. It's called the Crab and Go lightweight stainless tube with handle that works great. It's catching sand crabs for surf bait. That's all I could think about was Bill Varney's deal. You can find a Crab and Go at tackle shops, including Hogan's, Fisherman's Hardware, or online at surffishtackle.com.
Right on. Well, hey, before we take a quick break, we got a little bonus addition to the catch report. Our good buddy Andrew, Captain Andrew Viola, calling from the Prowler this morning. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, morning, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, buddy. I know that bluefin has made a little resurgence over the last couple of weeks. Is that fish still biting?
Oh, yeah. You know, we ended up putting together a pretty nice day yesterday. We, when the dust settled last night, we ended up with 51 of those things.
My Lord.
No way, man. That's awesome. Tell us about it.
Yeah. It was good, fun fishing. You know, the thing that was cool about it, you know, in the past there, it's kind of been a morning deal and an afternoon deal. But yesterday we were able to stay busy just about all day long.
That is great. Great news. And I know we had heard a little bit. It sounded like the grade of that fish was just phenomenal to be drifting with all day. How was your fish?
Oh, you know, it's pretty much there seems like there's two grades of fish swimming around. There's a couple schools of those 40 to 50 pounders, and there's some of those like 18 to 30 pounders. We had a mix of both, but it was a real nice, real respectable grade of fish.
What a cool day, and just to get to drift along with it all day long, and it's back to regular fishing, right? Just fly line and sardines and catching bluefins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fly line and sardines, and you know we did have a little bit of success too on the sinker rig. Those 4 to 6 ounce torpedo sinkers with the rubber band. That was working a little bit for us yesterday. But yeah, we're not up at 2 a.m. flat falling.
Andrew, that sounds awesome. How is the bait, and if a guy's going to come fishing aboard the Prowler, how would a guy appropriately set himself up to take advantage of his bluefin when he's coming fishing with you?
So for coming out, I would say 2 rigs should be able to get you through. Obviously, the heavier flat fall rig with the 100-pound and the 200 or 250 milligram flat fall for in the dark. And then once it's light out, we've been doing most of our business on the 25 and 30-pound fluorocarbon, obviously, and then like a number one, or excuse me, a 1/0 circle hook has been the key.
Perfect. Smaller hooks.
Yeah, and then, like I said, those torpedo sinkers were working, so maybe put a couple rubber bands and sinkers in your back pocket for
awesome.
the little extra added in.
Yeah, well, good deal, Andrew. I mean, we certainly appreciate the report. What a great day you had on the Prowler. How's the upcoming schedule looking? Are there opportunities as the weeks go on and we get later into October? It seems like the crowds start to lessen a little bit, and the fishing just seems to keep on rolling and even getting better. Opportunities to come fishing aboard the Prowler with you this week?
Oh, yeah. You know, we've got our schedule up for the rest of the month. We did just add a 2.5-day beginning of next month, but we are online tonight. All of our day-and-a-half trips will be targeting the bluefin tuna. Tonight is a guaranteed go. It's a real light load, but there's fish to be caught, and we're not going to be sitting at the dock while that's so going on.
That is so cool, buddy. Well, great job, Andrew. So if somebody wants to go tonight to go fishing, striking while the iron's hot, how do we jump on the Prowler?
There's a few different ways. You can call our office directly at 619-224-3383, or you can make a reservation online either at prowlersportfishing.com, or you can go to the landing's website at seaforthlanding.com.
Awesome, buddy. Great job, Andrew. Corey, I want to go fishing, man.
I want it too.
They're
they're actually catchable size.
Yeah, this is perfect. Well, great job, Andrew. Glad to hear you guys had such a great trip. Prowler's new home with C4 Sport Fishing. You're doing an awesome job, and we really appreciate keeping us up to date with what's going on out there.
All right, Rick. Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot for that.
Hey, Rick, that was a killer report, and I know we're going to have more coming up. We have more with Ty, more with Rapala, and we come back on the Mighty 1090 and Let's Talk Hookup.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Ranch is small, it's very personal, very intimate. I don't think there's anywhere else that you could have the old Baja feel and have all those miles of beachfront, the palapa roofs and the stone walls. There's not a room that you don't have some kind of ocean view. You don't give up any amenities at the ranch. It's just very rustic. You know how when you cook outdoors it tastes better? Well, that's Rancho Leonero. It just tastes better. We have paddle boards, we've got kayaks, we've got snorkeling equipment, of course. We've got 12 super pongas. We have dive trips. We've got over 40 kayaks at the hotel. We've got all accurate equipment, very top of the line. And when the fishing's good, we'll freeze your fish, pack it all up, send it home with you. People love it. They'll come back 5-6 times a year. That's the highest accolade we can get. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. It's unique.
Quality is the name of the game at Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay. Free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, plus a great fleet. It's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute, Tomahawk, Prowler, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 3rd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern, and we are pulling out all the stops on this one with discounts from 20 to 60% on hundreds of items. Over 20 manufacturers' reps like Shimano. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, a giant raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Closeouts we've never offered before at Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Check out all the Shimano and Power Pro product we have and talk to the Shimano and Power Pro guys about the best Shimano rod and reel for your trip. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and a Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skills. The winner gets a Tranks 500 worth $500. It's our biggest sale of the year with hundreds of items discounted up to 60%. Plus, plenty of manufacturers' incentives from Shimano and Power Pro to spice up the pot. We'll have a huge raffle and lots of fun for everyone. So don't miss it. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 3rd. Check fishermanslanding.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader. The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
We all need to get around, but we all need something different from our vehicles. Your San Diego County Ford dealers have you covered if you're looking for a new truck this month. Plus, it's SUV season, so they have great deals for everyone. Whether it's a new EcoSport that is nimble and fun around town, or the Ford Explorer that is capable of putting a boat in the water and has seating for 7, Ford has you covered. Ford trucks and SUVs aren't just powerful and legendary. They have the latest technology that helps you seamlessly connect your smartphone and ensure you're safe on the road. Features like Pro Trailer Backup Assist on trucks are truly a game changer at the ramp, helping you back up a trailer by simply turning a knob on the dash and doing the hard work for you. So check out all the great deals during SUV season and save some money on the right gear for you. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For over 5 decades, Lee Palm Sport Fishing has set the standard in long-range fishing that they pioneered long ago. The Red Rooster 3 sets a new standard of excellence. The Red Rooster 3 is one of the most modern, quiet, and fastest long-range vessels in the fleet. They have handpicked the finest crew to make your trip a memorable one. The Red Rooster 3 offers trips from 3 to 18 days and runs year-round to the best fishing spots on the planet. Ride the Red Rooster 3 once, and you'll be back again. Call the Red Rooster 3 at 619-224-3857 or see them on the web at redrooster3.com.
38 years ago, my parents started Fastlane Sailing Center. They sold catamarans because they wanted to do what they loved and sell what they loved to do. They wanted to share their passion with others, share the stoke. I'm Hayden Lane, and over the last 3 decades, my parents have shared that passion with thousands of people, my brother, sister, and I among them. We grew up right there at the shop in Dana Landing Marina in Mission Bay, sailing on the bay, fishing off the docks, and later off the Hobie Mirage kayaks. We grew up surrounded by the water. Our shop was filled with tools that Hobie and other brands have made to enjoy on the water. And I use them all. I mean all of them. Wouldn't you? So when you come into the shop, you're not going to hear a salesperson trying to convince you to buy something. You're going to hear us bragging about how much fun we have on these toys and telling you to do the same. We test every product out there, and we only sell the best because we want to use the best. So check out our website at fastlanekayaking.com or get on down to the shop in Dana Landing and find your next adventure.